So let's call the meeting to order. Is there any public comment today that you're
No.
aware of? Okay. I read through the minutes from our last meeting and they looked okay to me. So unless anybody has any comments or correction from those minutes, could we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion that we
Anybody?
accept this.
Second?
I second it.
Thank you, Jessica. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Nay?
Aye.
Okay. On the subject of old business, anything new on the lead abatement program that we should be discussing today? I don't know if that's a live subject at the moment or not.
Well, I'm in the same,
Nobody has a report.
I'm in the same office.
Yes.
So they're moving right along. They got a new employee that moved up from PMI. They're going out on inspections. I don't really know the exact gist of it. I mention to it every time this is coming up for them to be invited.
Yeah.
But they all left 15 minutes early today for their union meeting. So
Yeah, I get the impression that right now they're just trying to train a lot of people to do it. that they need
yeah,
more
they're
people
just
who are-
trying to get it rolling right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for giving us that update. The county health department, I'm not aware of whether there's anything moving in that direction or not. I know Dr. Kelleher was involved with some of those discussions. I have no idea whether those discussions are still ongoing or whether those are dead. Anybody have any information on that? No. All right, and then on to new business. Last meeting, there were two individuals, Ms. Kammerer and Ms. Camp, who spoke to us about the health survey. They got a boatload of money from the government and they're doing these 3 health surveys and they're doing the first part now. And they said they'd have more to bring us up to date on in the future. I thought they might be attending today, but does anybody know anything about the status of that or anything that we should be discussing regarding that? I was I thought they had, do I remember correctly, or did they say they were going to try to get to us? I would be curious just to see what the survey is, what questions get asked. And if there's some way that, I thought they were going to send us some link so we could see what it was all about, but we can talk to them about that next time, I guess. And then the other new business, which I think everybody was copied on, is last time we spoke about, city council asked us, I guess they had somebody at a meeting complained about mold and wanted to know if we had mold regulations. But at the last meeting, a few of us had done some digging around, and one of the codes guys has, and there are no specific regulations given by the government. They just say when you see it, clean it up. So I had, as most of you I guess know, I had prepared like a response to that. We circulated it, and I think all of you had a chance to look at it. Did anybody have any issues or problems, or did everybody think that what was stated in there was an accurate reflection of what we discussed?
Yes.
No issues.
Mhm.
Has that been sent on now, Michelle, or where do we stand with that?
Yes, it has.
Okay. All right. So hopefully that's probably all we need to do on that.
I'm sorry, I missed
And then-
that first part.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I missed that first part.
Regarding, what, I'm not,
I couldn't get my computer to work.
oh, we were just talking about, did you hear what I had to say about the health survey?
No,
Oh, there were those two individuals who were here last meeting and
Right.
spoke about the health survey. I was under the impression, because I had a lot of questions, I was just curious what the survey was in terms of what questions do they ask? And I was under the impression they were going to link us to that so we could just see what it was, but I suspect they'll be here in the future. And then the other thing you may have missed is I said that we had circulated that thing on the mold regulations, which everybody thought was okay. And Michelle informs me that she sent that on to city council. So we're done with that unless it somehow ricochets back to us. Okay.
thank you.
Then, I glossed over the inspection report. We have one of the reports was forwarded from the fire services, I guess, and that came in on a separate sheet. Let me see. That came in right before the meeting. I don't know whether all of you had a chance to look at it, but basically, it sounds like good things are in good shape in the fire department. They had 7 cases of COVID, 4 in August, 3 in September, but they were all mild. People were in various stages of vaccination status. They have plenty of PPE. And so they have had a slight increase in the number of overdoses they mentioned. But other than that, it sounds like from the standpoint of COVID and their preparations for it, they're in good shape in that regard.
Thank you.
And how about inspector's report? Do we have a report? Andrew, do you have a report on that today?
Unfortunately, Charles usually does the report. He moved to a new position. And it kind of slipped through the cracks. I didn't even think about it until I got the email this afternoon from Michelle.
Okay. You can just send it out, we can put it on as an addendum. You're not aware of anything flagrant or outs that we would need
No,
to
it's
talk about?
pretty much the same as it was last meeting. No big changes.
Okay. All right. And then the old items, the health code amendment, and the health board amendments and the health officer amendments, those are, I presume, all still under legal review.
Yes.
All right, well, now I have a question. I'm going to put Dr. Schwartz on the spot.
Go ahead.
Myself and all my friends are all debating whether to get the new COVID shot now or wait a little longer for the protection over the holidays when we're all indoors. You have any thoughts on that? I know there's no right answer, but you're a clinician who's out in the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably not, but I mean, it's very similar, to the flu shot, 2 to 4 weeks to see full immunity. So if you're waiting, too late into the holiday season, you might really not get the bump. So, I mean, I think honestly, October, early November is realistic to get the protection, but then not lose, the immunity each month either. So I think
And
October.
being on the front lines, I mean, what's your perspective of COVID? You're in a practice day to day, you see what's in the community.
Yeah. I mean, again, compared to, 2.5 years ago, it was, fever, couldn't breathe, high hospitalizations. And now it's a lot of sinuses. I don't feel good. And personally, I don't think I've had a patient hospitalized in over a year. So, the majority of people just feel a little different, and that's why they swab or they need to go somewhere and they want to check. But I mean, the recovery is, again, nothing what it was before. So it's clearly different, but also it seems like it spreads a lot easier. So we really are encouraging people, don't forget about the flu shot. The Southern Hemisphere had a really nasty year this year, and we're expecting that. But then, get yourself boosted to just avoid the, the complications, especially if you're a high risk person.
Can you tell me, I'm just curious because I've just heard anecdotal accounts that were all over the place. What are kind of the current recommendations on who should receive the antivirals?
So the nice thing is in our computer, honestly, technically the answer is anybody's allowed to receive the antiviral if they have it. But our computer system actually lists somebody by their comorbidities like low, medium, high. So again, if I have a pretty young person with a score of 0 who calls in, they're still entitled to the antiviral. But, again, they're probably going to have a more mild, uncomplicated course anyway. And the medicine does cause metallic taste in the mouth, GI upset, headache. So it's not for nothing. We have to check kidney function and cross-reference other medication. But if someone does score moderate or high, you really do want to try to get them to take it. But unfortunately, they also tend to be on medication that complicates the interaction, and it's a little bit more difficult. So technically, anybody's entitled to have it, and that's how I let them know it. But if they seem a little low risk, we do have the 5 days to start it. And most of these people are actually feeling better within that window anyway. So really, I am pushing it more for the moderate and high risks.
I question the numbers, you see counts, but everybody that I know, and again, anecdotally, over the last few weeks, I don't think any of them even called their doctor because none of them were sick. They tested at home. So you wonder what the numbers mean.
We're not hearing. Yeah. I would agree. I mean, I think we definitely are in a surge, but to your point, it's pretty mild. People are staying home, or they're just calling in because they heard there was a medicine. And I'd say it's 50-50 if they really want it. They're just kind of asking for work notes and things like that at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
Any other discussion for the good of the order? Any questions or? Well, then I guess maybe we can wrap it up. I guess we should discuss our next meeting would normally be November, December. What would that be? Let me look. I got a calendar here. Probably about the 4th, something like that.
7.
Ooh. Well, the next REF, the next Tuesday, the first, let me see, we're in October, so that would be December 6th, I think. That might be an issue for me and some of us. The Reading Educational Foundation has a cocktail party event that evening at the Greek Church, but I honestly don't remember what time that starts. I want to say 5 or something, so that
Right.
ought to be bumped maybe to the fall. Could we bump it to the following week?
I'm on a Zoom meeting. Okay, bye-bye.
That's going to be tough for me and and Bob Hospodor and Kathy might be there as well. Maybe even more people. That'd be good. So could we look at an alternate date? If you want to keep it on a Tuesday, we could. I'd be good with 13th if other people are.
Yeah.
Or bump it to a day, one day up or one day back or something like that, or a week up. Well, a week up then messes us up with, and then that starts getting close to, well, it shouldn't be a problem. It doesn't make any difference. Do you want to look at the calendar and get back to us, Michelle, or?
No, I can do, I'd prefer the following Tuesday rather than that Monday or
Okay, the
Wednesday.
13th. Okay, well then let's figure that then for the 13th at 4 o'clock.
And you want to stay virtual?
I think so. I mean, it just seems like we'd get better attendance. All right, well then we'll do it on the 13th. And we'll go from there. All right,
Okay.
any other business before we adjourn? If not, can I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay,
second.
anybody second? We don't want to, all right. All right, then we'll see you all in December.
All right. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Have a happy Thanksgiving if we don't
You
speak
know it, my
before then.
favorite.
Yeah, bye-bye.